Hey y'all, it's Cara. Today we're gonna do a homestead tour. A complete, all the way around the property, full homestead tour. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos and a little bit's changed. There's a lot to show you and it would be a lot of walking. So instead of walking, I'm gonna ride my new electric bike around as I show you things because it's a lot of fun and I want an excuse to ride it. I got this electric e-bike the other day from Full Care. It's the Libra model in yellow. It's so cute. And I've really been having a blast riding it all around, and Ryan has too. So it's a good excuse. All right, let's go over to the sheep first. So these are our sheep. We move our sheep around in this electric netting. So sometimes they are in the front field. This is kind of like our front of the house field. We don't exactly have a name for this field. Ryan and I were just talking about this the other day. We need to come up with a name for this field. So this is the field we're trying to come up with a name for. If anyone has any good suggestions, leave them in the comments. I've kind of thought about maybe the Grove of Tree field because we have a big grove of trees over here. I'll drive over there in a minute and show you those. And we always reference those trees. So, I don't know, maybe just front of the house field. That's kind of a mouthful. Anyhow, these are our sheep. We have Katahdin sheep. These are all the females. The boy ram is over yonder a little bit. We'll drive over there and see him next. They're really friendly. They're a hair breed of sheep, so they don't need to be sheared at all. They don't make any wool. And we are raising them for meat. So, that is a question we get asked a lot. Someone's trying to destroy the shelter right now, but we are raising them for meat to eat. We don't milk them or shear them because they don't make wool. So this is our sheep field, and we were actually just over in this area, kind of down there in that little grove, the corner of the wood line there, the other day picking pawpaws in a video I uploaded a few weeks ago. If you want to check out that video, it is on our channel as well. Okay, let's go see the ram, the male sheep. This is going to be kind of a quick homestead tour. If you want more information about any of the animals, let me know and I could do a more detailed video about one individual thing. But for now, we're just going to kind of go around the property and see everything we got right now. All right, let's go over and see the male ram. This is our ram. Our ram's over here in his own pen. We want him over here because we want to control when our sheep have their babies. We don't want them having babies in the middle of winter. We want them timed at a certain time in the spring when it's warm enough that they won't be getting too cold at night. He is also the father of some of the females that were born last year that we're planning on keeping for breeding this year. So we need to sell him and get a new ram so that the genetics are a little bit more diversified. We're right here next to the grove of trees. Let's go over to this grove of trees and I want to show you a really cool, really big tree that we may be cutting down soon, sadly. But it'll all make sense in a second when we get over there. I'll show you why. This grouping of trees here in the middle of our field, we refer to as the grove of trees. There's a bunch of really pretty big trees. This really big tree here, I'm pretty sure is an oak. I'm not 100% positive what type of oak. I think it's an English oak maybe. I'm trying to be better about tree identification and learning that. I recently got a game called Match a Leaf where you match the leaf with its tree variety, and it's kind of like a little memory flashcard game. Anyway, it's been really fun. We've been playing that to try to help ourselves memorize what trees are what. Anyway, let's walk over here and I will show you the really big tree that sadly I think we're going to cut down. This really big tree here behind me is the one that sadly I think we're going to have to cut down. It's been losing a lot of limbs and it just makes me nervous that one of these days it's going to fall on somebody. We do a lot of walks. We are all over the place on our homestead, and especially with kids around, I just don't want it hurting anybody. The limbs that are falling off of this tree, they're just complete mush and you can tell it's really rotting. This is one of the limbs that just fell down in a big storm. And you can see it's squishy, and it's just like, you shouldn't be able to do that with a tree. And let's walk around to the back of the tree, because on the inside of this really pretty tree, you can see it's pretty much just hollow all the way up. Here we are around the tree. On the inside of this tree, there's a big slit that kind of just goes up the center of it, and that is all really squishy. I'm pretty sad because this tree really is very beautiful, and I love trees, and I love really big, beautiful trees especially. I just think it's had a good life, but I think its last days are behind it. It's not really structurally safe anymore, I'm afraid. We are planning on planting some other new trees this fall too, so subscribe to our channel if you want to see what new trees we're going to be planting as well. We won't be able to see the new trees grow to this size in our lifetime, but future generations will, and that's an exciting legacy to leave behind. If we come over here in the grove of trees, on this side, there's actually old foundation blocks. We can walk over here. There's even some old equipment. I'm not 100% sure what this is. Maybe it was like a seed disc tiller of some sort. But there's all sorts of cool kind of artifacts like that within this grove of trees here. I'm pretty sure there was a mobile home on these foundation blocks back in the 70s, and I think that's the last time anyone lived on this property. In the springtime, you've probably seen me walking around this grove of trees. This is where all of those daffodils are that I love so much in the early spring. I have a couple videos on our channel of me cutting those daffodils and showing this area just covered in a beautiful carpet of yellow in the springtime. You've got to see it. So search back on our channel, type in daffodil Bluebird Homestead, and you'll be able to find those videos and see all the daffodils in here, because it really is something spectacular and beautiful. One of my goals for this grove of trees is to make it a usable kind of hideaway secret garden space. At least that's what I have in my mind as kind of a vision when I think about this spot. There's a lot of junk in here. There's a lot of broken glass and a lot of just trash whoever lived here before left behind. And so I want to clean it up so that it's safe for the kids to run around and play in. And also there's a lot of poison ivy. I want to clean up the poison ivy and really just have it be kind of like, I don't know, maybe put a table in here, seating area. There may be some future videos on that next spring. We'll see what other projects we get into. We always have some sort of project going on the homestead, so subscribe to our channel if you're not already, like I mentioned, so that you don't miss out on any of those fun projects. We're always up to something. And there's all sorts of old bricks here too that are cool for maybe a pathway or some other fort we could build for the kids. I don't know. I have so many ideas running through my brain about what we can do with this spot. There's also a bunch of pawpaw trees here within this grove as well. We have pawpaws all over the place on our farm, but these are what the trees look like. These are too young to have fruit on them. We've gone foraging for pawpaws before on our channel, and I've showed you what the fruit looks like and tasting it and all that. So if you want to see what a pawpaw fruit is and what these trees are, you can go find that video. It's definitely a cool little place that we have that was left behind. But the daffodils are definitely my favorite part about this place. Let's drive over to the garden next, and I'll show you the garden, and then I will show you some other new things I just got planted in the ground over in the orchard too that are fun. This is like a little field here behind the grove of trees. The grove of trees is right there for perspective. And then we have a front field in front of that. And we actually put up a perimeter fence around our front field. I showed it on a YouTube live I did the other day, but if you didn't see that, I'll show you again. So let's drive up to the front field first, actually, before we go see the garden, and I'll show you the new fence that we just put up, because it was an exciting project to finally get that done. This is our front field. It's about 7 acres, I think. I'd have to ask Ryan specifically how big it is, but I'm pretty sure it's about 7 acres. We recently just put up a perimeter fence around this front field that is an electric wire. If you look at the fence, it has kind of a rope braided electric wire, and it has these white, I think it's a PVC material, vinyl kind of material, fence posts in, and they're the insulators for the electric, because otherwise you'd have to have a clip on a traditional T-post for that. Growing up, I had horses and I had T-posts with like a yellow plastic clip on it, and then an electric braided rope wire through that clip as the insulator. And those plastic yellow clips often broke and just deteriorated in the sun over time. So we're pretty excited about this white insulator being the actual post, because hopefully it'll last a really long time. Time will tell. We just recently installed it, so you know, we'll see how it holds up over time. But this is the fence, and I think it looks pretty sharp too. I'm excited about it, and it helps hopefully just kind of, you know, keep animals in and predators out. There's no animals in this fence right now though. They're over yonder in the front. We also have chickens. Let's actually go see the chickens after the garden. We'll do garden next, then chickens. All right, let's go over to the garden. I don't even remember the last time I rode a bike, just for fun. I'm enjoying it. So thanks for Full Care for sending that out to me. I appreciate it, guys. Here over in the garden, this is the berry garden. It also turned into kind of a flower garden, which, you know, did you really expect any less from me? If you've been watching me for any point of time, you shouldn't, because flowers I love. Let's walk over here and I will show you a couple things we have growing. It's not going to be a complete garden tour video, kind of just like an overview within this homestead video. Over here in these Vego raised beds, I have some potatoes growing up here at the top, and these are dahlia flowers, but they're not blooming yet. We have a big row of blueberries here. The blueberries are done for the year. We have gooseberries and currants and josta berries, and that's what's in these long beds, but we also have a lot of flowers intermixed too. This is amaranth and celosia and another type of flower called coxcomb. I think it's really pretty filler flower to add to bouquets. In front of the berry garden section, we have ground cherries. Over here in these modern Vego garden beds, there are some carrots and cilantro, and this is some squash that I planted for the fall season crop. I didn't do a whole lot for fall this year, but I did want some extra squash plants because the squash bugs ate all of my squash earlier this summer. Then we have a lot of flowers in the garden and a lot of different vegetables. Let me show you this giant dahlia. This dahlia is huge. It's probably the size of my face, and it's not even fully open yet. It's really pretty. I have a lot of dahlia flowers throughout the garden. Let me walk over and show you one really cool thing in the garden, and then we'll move on to the next spot of the homestead tour, because this would probably be a 2-hour video of just a garden tour if I showed you every single plant. There's a lot of raised beds in our garden. I think we have somewhere near 40 raised beds. There's vegetables and other things growing too that are kind of funky and cool. There's some watermelon there in the corner that's almost ready to be picked. I need to come back for that today. One of the cool, more unique things I'm growing this year that I've never grown before is a luffa gourd. I want to show you this plant because it is taking over. It is completely covered this trellis and that trellis there next to it. You can see this green fruit is the luffa. Now, you're supposed to be able to eat it young with green skin on it. I haven't tried that. And I also had someone in the comments the other day mention that you can eat the leaves too. I want to experiment with that in a little while, but the main reason I grew the luffa gourd is because you can dry it out and make sponges out of it for dishes and soap and things like that. So you actually leave, let's crawl up under here, you actually leave the luffa gourds on the plant to completely dry out, and they will turn brown, and then you can peel them and see the sponge inside. Stick around and we'll film a video about that process when it's time to actually harvest them. They're getting really big though. If you look inside the tunnel, there are some really huge ones coming up in here. And this tunnel's been a really fun hiding spot for the kids. It's completely enclosed on both sides, and they've been liking playing in there. Once we exit the garden and you come over this way, this is our orchard. We have some fruit trees growing already, but the new addition that I just planted the other night are fig trees. I was able to find a local guy on Facebook Marketplace who is selling a bunch of different unique, kind of rare varieties of figs, and I planted 7 fig trees. I personally really love fresh figs, and I think they taste really sweet. And I was excited to get these as a new addition to our homestead. And you may have seen little snippets of this really big project we've been working on. If you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, links to those are in the description box of this video. I post little short clips of this project we've been working on over there. But our really big project that Ryan and I have been working on a lot is a garage. Kind of a garage / barn farm shop. I don't know if you can just call it a garage. It will have a lean-to off of the back and some stall-like areas for baby lambs that may have been rejected by their mom and need a little extra warmth or medical attention kind of thing. So it'll be kind of a multi-purpose building. And I'm really excited to put all of my gardening supplies in the garage versus them being just in the house. Let's go over here and I'll show you that. So this is the garage slab. We have been forming it up, mainly Ryan. I help a little bit, but it's mainly Ryan. Forming it up. We're gonna be pouring concrete here for the slab foundation here next week probably. I'll try to film the process of the garage and make that its own video, but that is one of the new things on the homestead that we're really excited about because we haven't had a garage for the last several years. So it definitely is needed with as many tools and different things that you need for a homestead. Last thing to show you is our chickens. So let's hop back on the bike and whip over there and I'll show you those. Our chickens we move around too, just like the sheep in this electric netting. We have a couple different breeds of chickens in here, and as you can see, we do have a lot of roosters. We are going to be doing a breeding program, and I'm going to separate the roosters and pull out different ones for different hens for hatching different colored eggs. Some are going to be different colored. I'm just going to let you wait in suspense for that, and when the time comes, I'll show you all those pretty eggs. Right on cue. We've already collected eggs today, so I have no eggs to show you, but here they are. I really like owning chickens. I think they're a lot of fun. The kids also enjoy coming out here and seeing the eggs. It's like an Easter egg hunt every day. We have a couple different breeds of chickens. We have breast chickens, which are these white ones here that you see. They are our meat bird, and they're more sustainable meat bird because you can take their eggs and hatch them. They lay eggs too, versus the Cornish cross just kind of die at 10 weeks because they grow really big really fast, which is great for meat birds, but not necessarily great for a sustainable option. And most of the black ones are our black copper Moran chickens, and we have some really dark egg layers and some really cool genetics with those. Let's turn this fence back on. I really like having our chickens. Like I said, they're really sweet and they're fun to have. Plus, you can't beat having fresh eggs from a chicken that you have on your own farm. They taste so much better. They really are great. This does it for the homestead tour because I have to go make lunch. But I hope you guys enjoyed riding around with me on the electric bike to go see some different aspects of our homestead. My name's Cara. Again, this is Bluebird Homestead. If you're new here, please subscribe to our channel, like today's video, and leave a comment down below where you're from. I'd love to hear where everyone's watching from. Thanks for watching, and I hope y'all truly have a wonderful day. Bye, y'all.